Hello guys, welcome back to FreeCodeCamp. We're learning recursion by building a decimal to binary converter, and this is part of the JavaScript algorithms and data structures. We're on step 71. It says your converter should not be working. Feel free to try out some different numbers and think about what is happening each time decimal to binary is called. So it says if we test with 0, nothing happens. This is because it returns an empty string based on the case. So right here we have it, if input is equal to 0, then it'll just return an empty string. So we're going to update the base case so that it returns a string 0 when input is equal to 0. So in this return, we could just put a 0 between the strings. So now for 72, it says this is mostly working. If you convert 0 into a binary, 0 will be displayed on this page. But convert other numbers greater than 0, your binary number starts with a leading 0. For example, if you convert 1, the result will be 0, 1. But if we think about it, in the base 10, always convert to a 0 and 1 in a base 2. So we're going to add an else if statement to check if our function to check if the input is equal to 1. If it is, then we're going to return the string 1. So we have an else if block just like this, and inside here we have a return of the string 1. Or let's restart this. I don't know why we're getting an error. So then else if the input is equal to 1, then we will return a string 1, just like this. So now for step 73, it says now everything should be working as expected. And since you know that the input will be either 0 or 1 at this point, you can combine the two base cases just to return input as a string. So we're going to combine our if and else statement into a single if statement. So we can remove the else if and the if. So now we could do something like this. So if input is equal to 1 or 0, I mean, or input is equal to 1, then we will return, and I have this error because I have to remove that curly braces. We'll return a string input. So basically, if the input was 0, then this will run, and the number 0 will be a string 0 based on this string method. So now for step 74, it says now our decimal to binary function is complete. Feel free to test it out. So now we're gonna create a simple animation to help us understand what is happening in each step of the way. So we're gonna create a new function called show animation and leave the body of the function empty for now. So we do function show animation, and we're gonna leave the body empty for now, just like this. Now for step 75, it says we'll show the animation when the user tries to convert the decimal number to 5 to the decimal number 5 to binary. So now we need to add a check within our check user input function. So we're going to use the if statement, check if the value attribute of number input is equal to number 5. So now we can do if number input dot value is equal to number 5. Oh, so it says we got to use the phrase int function to convert the string into a number before comparing it to 5. And we're also going to leave the if statement body empty for now. So since this will be a string, the number input dot value, we could just add a phrase int, and then inside here we could have number input dot value, and this will give us a number, just like this. So now for step 76, if the value of the number input is equal to 5, call the show animation function, then return early. So now we're inside our if statement. We just created the last step. Inside here, we will call the show animation function, and then we'll return. So now for step 77, it says that our show animation function is set up, but if we look closely at check user input function, you'll notice that it's not very dry. So we're calling the phrase int to convert the number input value into a number several times. A simple fix is to create a variable to store the converted number. So we're going to create a new variable called input int and assign it to the number converted by the number input of value, or number input dot value. So we'll create a let input int equal, we're going to assign the number converted from, so we use a phrase int number input dot value, just like this. So we're going to replace all the instances of the phrase int number input with the variable input int. So this phrase int number input value we just replace with input int, and same goes for this. Same goes for this. And yeah, and also this on line 34. So this will be input int, just like this. So now that your show animation function is set up, let's do some testing. So we're gonna add 3 console log statements in the show animation function and log the text FreeCodeCamp to the console. And it says we should see the text in the console when you enter the number 5, when 5 into the number input, and click convert button. So we can open up the console, add 3 console logs in our function. So console.log, I'm gonna console log the text free, then console.log code, and also cap, just like this. So now if I do add 5 here, we should see free code. So now for step 80, it says before we start writing code for the animation, let's take a look at the function we'll use to add and remove elements from the DOM. So set timeout. So the set timeout function takes two arguments, a callback function and a number representing the time in milliseconds to wait before executing the callback function. So for example, if you want to log hello world to the console after 3 seconds, this is how it would be. So we have the callback function here, and then also the delay of 3 seconds in milliseconds. So we're going to use set timeout function to add 1 second delay before the text code is logged to the console. And then after we're going to enter number 5 into the number input and click convert. So we have this console log of code. So we can use set timeout. Let's take some callback. And we will console.log code. And then it will also take in milliseconds, and it says to add a 1 second delay. So that'll be 1000, just like this. Open the console up. We could put 5 here and click convert. And after 1 second, the console log of code runs. So yeah, so you could see step 81 in my next video, and I hope you guys did learn something. If you did, please subscribe and like and help me get to 500 subscribers. Thank you.